Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. I'd like to call the meeting of July 24th to order. Before we get started, I want to give you a little preview of what's going to happen tonight. So we're going to try to be as expeditious as possible. We're going to take the oath for 3 trustees, including myself, and then we're going to do a couple of different business items, which are going to be fairly quick, and appointment on committees. And then we're going to take a recess where we can all say good night. And if you want to stay, you're more than welcome to stay to go through our very exciting agenda items. But I just wanted to make sure you're aware of what's going to happen. So with that, I want to call this meeting to order. And I would like to ask Senate President, Classified Senate President Annie Engel to lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you all please rise? All right, item 2.3, roll call. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Virginia Baxter.
Here.
Vivian Malauulu.
Here.
Uduak Joe Intuck.
Present.
Doug. Doug Otto.
Here.
Sunny Zia.
Here. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, we got a rambunctious group. Love it. Okay, so item 2.4, approval of the minutes of the June 26, 2018 regular Board of Trustees meeting.
So moved.
Do we have a second? Okay, moved by Trustee Malauulu and seconded by Trustee Baxter. Can you please call the roll, Madam Secretary?
I will if it comes up. We'll do this by hand. Trustee Malauulu, and who was second?
Baxter.
Okay. Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuck.
Abstain.
Doug Otto.
Abstain.
Sunny Zia.
Yay.
And Student Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Okay, we now move to item 2.6, oath of office for Uduak Joe Intuck, the Honorable Vice Mayor Rex Richardson, Long Beach Council District 9, will administer the oath of office for Uduak.
Come on up. Let's get busy. I'll just lean into it. Well, I want to, as the family's coming on up and as Uduak's coming on up, I wanted to just start off by acknowledging this occasion, this joyous occasion that we have to recognize new folks who have stepped up to help lead our community college district and thus our city. Come on up. So this is important for a number of reasons. It's important to the community, particularly the North Long Beach community that we both now represent. Congratulations, Uduak. A lot of exciting, amazing work taking place in North Long Beach, and I'm proud to say that we have a great partner here in the Uptown Renaissance, Uduak Joe Intuck, to bring Long Beach Community College District fully into the community's renaissance that's happening. So let's hear it for Uduak for stepping up in that way. This is also important to recognize that it's been a generation since we've had African-American representation on the Long Beach Community College District Board, and I couldn't be more honored to call you my brother and to know that you've stepped up in that fold. Let's hear it for Uduak in that regard. So I've known Uduak a long time, and when I say a long time, I met him, we were both in student government, and I knew even then that Uduak was going to have a great future. He was always smarter than everybody else. He was always on campus. He was an organizer. And I got to tell you, we've gotten to know each other very well, and I'm proud to call him my brother. And, you know, we stood in each other's weddings. We went to the Democratic National Convention a long time ago, and I'm just proud to be here to call you my brother and to swear you in. So without further ado, let's get this process going. So, and let's hear it for the family, because this is indeed a family affair. My sister Tanua and Justice and the girls and everyone. Let's hear it for the family. All right, so let's go ahead and raise your right hand. You're going to repeat after me. I, Uduak Joe Intuk,
I, Uduak Joe Intuk,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I will take this obligation freely
that I will take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well and faithfully discharge
and I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which
the duties upon which
I am about to enter.
I am about to enter.
Congratulations, my friend.
So in my angst to get the oath of office started, I failed to mention we have item 2.5, the superintendent president announcement and report. So let's go back to that, if that's okay with everybody. And Justice, of course.
Now, I know I'm not a trustee, so make me feel good by giving me some good applause, okay? We're so happy you're here tonight to celebrate our 3 new trustees, so thank you so much to our elected officials, family, and friends. We really appreciate you being here tonight, and after my report, I'm going to acknowledge some of you. This has been a banner year for Long Beach City College, and I know that you're going to be so excited to hear these few updates. Over the last year, we've been able to slash our operating deficit that you read about in the newspaper by 55%. Now that's without layoffs and without program cuts. Your hometown college also graduated more students this year than last year, a graduation increase in double digits. You would be hard-pressed to find any other college in the nation that's keeping up with your hometown college, so congratulations to everybody. Not to be outdone, your hometown college graduated more honors students this year in double digits than last year as well. So not only are more students graduating from our college, they're doing so with high honors, and for that we can be so proud. I'm feeling better. Tonight, our Board of Trustees is considering a groundbreaking partnership with our wonderful Port of Long Beach, represented by Executive Director Mario Cordero and Carrie Garreau here tonight. It's so fantastic. It's a groundbreaking agreement that is going to design curriculum to put students through Long Beach City College and into good-paying, at times union wage jobs at our Port of Long Beach. How do you like that? But the good news isn't over, friends. We're not done yet. How do you like a $125,000 new grant to aid our DACA, undocumented students, that was just won by Long Beach City College? And for our veterans in the audience, we just won a Veterans Resource Grant, one of 29 districts in the state to serve our veterans. We also acknowledge the mental health issues that face and plague so many today. We've won a $125,000 mental health grant. You can expect Long Beach City College to have a mental health component in our health center with a mental health clinician and interns to help our students cope with the things that they face today. We also recently We've opened 2 welcome centers to get students a friendly, welcoming environment when they come to both of our campuses. And Speaker Anthony Rendon of our California State Assembly visited last week and had a homemade mango juice made right here by students in our bistro. And it was delicious. Now, you all know about the Long Beach College Promise, right? A national benchmark. What I can do is tell you, where do we go from here? Well, just wait. There's an announcement coming soon, Promise 2.0. And it's going to be an even bigger and better to build on the incredible legacy that so many of you built. And so I want to thank each and every one of you for making that happen. Now we'd like to acknowledge our elected officials and representatives that are here in attendance. Senator Stephen Bradford. Yay. From the City of Lakewood, City Manager Thaddeus McCormick. From the City of Long Beach, Mayor Robert Garcia, Vice Mayor Mr. Vice Mayor and future Alumni Hall of Famer, Dee Andrews. Councilmember Janine Pierce. Councilwoman Susie Price. Councilmember Al Austin. Councilmember Rex Richardson. Former Mayor Dr. Beverly O'Neill. From the Long Beach Unified District School Board of Education President, Diana Craighead. And Dr. Felton Williams. From our friends next door at the Cerritos Community College Board of Trustees, Ms. Marissa Perez. A board member from the Norwalk La Mirada School District, Jesse Urquidi.
Hey, Jesse!
And from the Compton Community College District Board of Trustees, President Nicole Jones. From our Water Replenishment District of Southern California Board of Directors, President John Allen. And from the West Basin Municipal Water District Board of Directors, Scott Houston. From the office of United States Senator Kamala Harris, Brent Robinson. Also from the Long Beach Unified Board of Trustees, Dr. Juan Benitez. From the office of Assembly Member Patrick O'Donnell, Marisol Baraja, and Nick Babeza. From the office of Assembly Member Mike Gibson, Chris Wilson. From the office of LA County Assessor Jeffrey Prang, Mark Bloser. And from the Port of Long Beach Executive Director Mario Cordero. We want to thank you so much for coming tonight, and we so appreciate your support of Long Beach City College, your hometown college. Let me hand it back to you, Madam Acting President Zia.
Thank you, Superintendent Romali. I just want to mention one more person who's very special, who's also here tonight, former Vice President of the Board of Harbor Commission, Rich Dines is in the house tonight, so thank you for being here, sir. Okay, we now move to item 2.7, oath of office for my seat. And the Honorable Councilwoman Susie Price, Long Beach Council District 3, will administer the oath of office for me.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. As Sunny makes her way up, I wanted to take this opportunity to say a few words. First and foremost, I want to congratulate the re-elected and the newest member of the Board of Trustees. So Dr. Baxter, Uduak and Tuck has been really, a very, very passionate advocate to so many of us in the city, and I'm very grateful that to be here tonight to witness you both being sworn in. Of course, Dr. Baxter is always a champion for all things Long Beach and has a great heart for the city, so congratulations to both of you. You have all worked very hard to earn your seats, and I have no doubt that you'll continue to work together in a collaborative spirit to enhance the offerings at Long Beach City College and to continue the progress that Dr. Romali just discussed. I think it's just been really an amazing time since I've been involved with the Long Beach City College, having sworn Sunny in 2014. So I met Sunny in 2014 and had the honor and privilege of swearing her in at that time. And over the course of the last 4 years, the two of us have developed a really tremendous friendship where we have engaged in a lot of frank discussions about both the opportunities and the challenges of our various roles. And I can definitely speak for the both of us, but say for a fact that I have seen us both grow, and Sunny's growth has really benefited Long Beach City College in magnificent ways. Her involvement with the vulnerable students at this institution, our homeless students, our students who have fear and really not the best opportunity to learn in, and our DACA students. She's really advocated for and pushed for protecting and supporting those students so that they continue to be set up for success, which is what every educational institution should support. She's also been tremendously supportive of the job skills programs and the trade programming that Long Beach City College has that no other educational institution in the region can tout as greatly as this institution can. And she's been a real supporter and ally for that. I have seen her grow in amazing ways. I'm incredibly proud of her as a fellow Iranian female who immigrated to this country to see what she has done and what she continues to do every day for her community, for this institution, for her colleagues. It really is an inspiration to me. It's an honor to be here, Sunny. Congratulations. Sunny will be taking her oath on the Constitution of the United States today. So.
Can I just say something
Yes.
before we get started? My sister is here, so she's going to be holding on to the Constitution as my family member. Thank you, Susie John.
Of course. So please repeat after me. I, Sunny Zia,
I, Sunny Zia,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support
that I will support
and defend
and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and I will well
and I will well
and faithfully
and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which
upon which
I am about to enter.
I'm about to enter.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
my friend.
She wants it.
Thank you. We now move to item 2.8, oath of office for Dr. Virginia Baxter, conducted by Dr. Beverly O'Neill, President Emeritus, Long Beach City College, and former mayor of Long Beach, California, and she will administer the oath of office.
Yeah, no, I know.
Very good. Looking at the crowd tonight, I have to tell you, I'm really excited inside. You know, Long Beach City College is 90 years old, and I think that I hear more exuberance, see more exuberance, and excitement than I've seen for a while, and maybe ever. And we just celebrated our 90th year. I feel like I've been part of it because I was a student at Long Beach City College before I went to Cal State Long Beach, and so I feel that this is my home. I came back and I was here for, I hate to tell you, 32 years working before I left and went into politics. But anyway, I am really excited also to introduce to you someone that I hired over, I'm not going to tell him, Jenny.
Long time ago.
Over 30 years ago. And Jenny was hired at Long Beach City College as world history, U.S. history professor. She became the advisor to the Associated Women students. And then she was so efficient in everything she did. She became in charge of our scholarship program and then our foundation. So tonight, she is entering into the career that she went into, which is not really a new career. It's still with Long Beach City College. And so she has years of understanding of what a wonderful place this is, a place that changes lives of students, people in Long Beach that never thought they could ever go to college, all of a sudden has a chance, and they have a chance here and also at Cal State Long Beach. So Jenny, I am thrilled to be here to introduce you to, and this is Dave, by the way, her husband. So Jenny, oh, and let me just say, I was going through things in my trying to clean out, doing all kinds of things. And I found something that I would like to give to you when I'm through. And as I looked at it, I found out that I had enough for the whole board. So if you don't mind, after, we would like to do this for you. Okie doke. Right. Repeat after me, please. I, in your name,
I, Virginia Baxter,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States and Constitution of the State of California.
to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California.
And I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservations
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
And I will well and faithfully discharge
And I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations, Zinni Barrister.
I'm going to just say a few words while Beverly, go ahead, if you want to give out the pins. Beverly called me this morning and said she found these beautiful Long Beach pins, and could she give them out to the trustees? And I said, of course. I just want to thank the voters of the 5th District for showing their support by not running an opponent against me. And I'm very grateful for that. And my priority since 1970, when I started here, Beverly didn't want to tell you that, but it was a long time ago, was the students of Long Beach City College. And I'm totally dedicated to our students and to their success. And part of the reason for this is I have seen such growth. Alumni come back, they feel good about going to the school, and we really change people's lives. And I'm very proud to represent the 5th District for Long Beach City College, and I will do my best to uphold all the principles that we have to guarantee that every student gets personal and wonderful attention that they deserve. So thank you very much.
Well, Dr. Baxter, thank you for preempting the next meeting item agenda. So I'm going to move to item 2.9 with special acknowledgement from board members. And we're going to go with Trustee Uduak Joe Intuk first.
I guess time for the speeches. Hey, I just want to welcome everyone. Thank you for coming out, elected officials, neighbors, friends, family, young and old. It's great to see everyone here, members of the faculty, staff, organized labor. Welcome. I really want to say thank you. Thank you to my family, my wife, for your support in this process. I know running for office, one of the most difficult things is balancing family and campaigning and everything. So I want to recognize my wife, Tanua. If you can give her a big round of applause. My daughters, Corinne and Harmony, are here. Give them a round of applause. Corinne wanted me to note that she is the former Little Miss Long Beach and the current Little Miss Golden State, so recognize with the others. Also, my son Justice is here. He's the one making little noises around the side. So, and I just want to thank, there's some old family friends of mine, Tom and Pat Hollowell are here. My old football coach, Andy Hall, is here. So it's just an honor, everyone here tonight. I want to thank Councilmember Rex Richardson for swearing me in. He's a good friend that we go way back, and I look forward to represent the same part of town together. We've had what's called an Uptown Renaissance, and so now the community college is going to be part of some of the great developments that have been happening in North Long Beach, whether it's jobs or we're rebuilding our local high school, Jordan High School right now, looking to Long Beach City College to be a part of that and look forward to partnering with the city and him. So I want to say thank you to Rex again. So give him a round of applause. A couple of my campaign team members are here, George and Victoria and Chris. Thank you guys for the 9-month journey on the campaign trail to get here. It was really a great team effort and outstanding partnership in winning the election. So thank you to my campaign team. Also, I'd like to say thank you to former trustee Jeff Kellogg. He served our community with distinction for many years, starting back in 1988. And just want to say thank you for your service to making Long Beach a better place, Long Beach City College a better place. Look forward to carrying on the tradition and thank him for his service. So please give Jeff a round of applause. So my story is somewhat of an improbable story. A kid from North Long Beach I was raised by educators, so both my parents are teachers. They actually met in Nigeria when Mom was in the Peace Corps. And my dad came to Long Beach State in 1967 as an international student. And so there's 5 of us. We all grew up with Nigerian names and Long Beach accents. And but we had a great childhood in North Long Beach. We were able to go on to public schools, and I actually was a student here at Long Beach City College where I got my start. I was able to go on to Long Beach State and USC to earn 2 engineering degrees, go on and work professionally as an engineer for 10 years, and teach at my former alma mater, Long Beach State. But it was the courseworks and the labs and the relationships I started here at Long Beach City College that really gave me an opportunity to move up, and it was affordable and accessible higher education. And so it's unique to be in the spot of I've navigated the pathway of most of our students and been able to give back to our community. I've worked as an academic advisor, as a professor, as a mentor, and now it's a different type of service, an extension of that service here on the board, the way I see it. We ran, I think, a very progressive and pragmatic campaign on pocketbook issues, bus passes for students to help them get here to school and save money on gas and parking. We ran on a platform increasing student success rates in graduation through new technology and supporting our teachers and staff. We talked about job training, restoring our vocational trades, making sure we can put people into good paying jobs now if that's what they need. And really expanding the College Promise. It's been a nationally recognized program. It's been around for about a decade, and now it's time to retool it and modernize it and take it to the next level. So the community was very responsive to that. I think today it really represents not just a new day for the campus, but a generational changing of the guard. The last 4 years have been 4 new board members elected by fairly large margins across the city. And I look forward to partnering with everyone to bring our collective, heads together to solve, how do we increase enrollment? The new state funding formula has changed. If we don't address our equity and our low-income and disadvantaged students, we were going to lose money from the state. We have to increase our completion rates, otherwise we lose money from the state. And so it's really a collaborative process. I come from an engineering background of how do we optimize the systems to make them work better. But also I come from the school of thought that a diversity of opinion, the more various thoughts and contributions you have, you get a better solution at the end of the day. So I look forward to working with my partners, my new colleagues, and Superintendent Dr. Reagan Romali and the staff and faculty here on campus. And just to say, it's not lost on me that it's been a generation since there was African American on this board. And really want to recognize Patricia Laughlin, who was the first African American. You give her a round of applause. But I like the saying from Senator Harris when she talks about being the first, yeah, I'm the first, but I'm going to make damn sure I'm not the last. So, and I just want to close with a quote from Nobel laureate President Nelson Mandela. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we lived. However, it's the difference we made in the lives of others who will determine the significance of the life we lead. So my goal here is to help as many people for as long as I can. And so I'm really looking forward to this next generation of leadership here in the Board of Trustees and renewing our commitment to serving the entire Long Beach community. So thank you, everyone.
Great job, Uduak, and welcome. Congratulations. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends. Thank you for coming tonight to share this memorable evening with me and my colleagues. We are honored by your presence. Thank you, Councilwoman Price, for being such a great partner and true inspiration. As my only other female Iranian American elected official in our entire state of California, you continually make me proud. Thank you, elected officials and dignitaries, for coming. We know you are all very busy and your time is valuable. Thank you, faculty and classified employees, for your strong faith and confidence in me and your unwavering support. Thank you to Port of Long Beach Executive Director Mario Cordero and my wonderful Port family who are here tonight. I'm very excited to see you all this evening. Thank you so much. To my friends in labor and business, thank you for your continued support, loyalty, and strong friendship. To my wonderful parents who never gave up on the American dream, thank you for giving me a life I couldn't otherwise have and for sacrificing so much for me and my sister. Thank you to my sister, Granaz, who is here tonight, and also my inspiration for leading based on truth, trust, and transparency. And of course, thank you to my constituents for giving me the privilege and honor of serving you for a second term. I look forward to continuing to represent and serve you with both integrity and honor. As you may know, I am a proud first-generation immigrant who came to this great country to escape a war-torn Iran and pursue my American dream of access to quality, affordable education and a better life. I owe so much to this great nation of ours and proudly chose to pursue this office because my story is not uncommon from the stories of our many students here at the Long Beach Community College District who also come from humble beginnings. They are the reason we are here. They unite us all and continually serve as an inspiration to ensure we build a productive and prosperous future for them and our community. Every action we as a college board take should be based on what is in the best interest of our students and community. I vow that I will continue to work hard and give you all that I've got to effectively fulfill this duty and make sure that we not only preserve, but also expand on the community within community college. This institution does such great work, and everyone here has a story that is related to serving the students and our community. Whether it's our world-class faculty, our hardworking classified staff, or our well-respected administrators, you are all doing everything you can to advance our students and their dreams, and I strongly salute you for that. It has been an honor to have served alongside my colleagues for the past 4 years. I hope I have brought a fresh set of eyes and unwavering desire to increase transparency, fight for our most vulnerable and underserved, such as our homeless and DACA students, and work towards restoring our workforce training programs. I commit to you that I will continue on this path as I work tirelessly for our students and their hardworking families of our community, as we help pave their way toward a future of hope and prosperity. I look forward to working collegially with all of my board members during this next term. Together, we are a team of diversity and strength, all working toward the same common goal. I plan to focus my energy on securing and strengthening our strategic partnerships within the Long Beach business and labor communities, expanding job training and career opportunities for our students so that they can afford to study, live, and work in Long Beach. Putting our district first by creating incentives to encourage businesses and contractors to support our students and the college district. I am so proud that we made one of the best decisions we could have made when we hired Dr. Reagan Romali as our superintendent president last year. Talk about impressive. Yes, thank you. Dr. Romali and her team have produced incredible results in a very short period of time, despite inheriting a near $11 million deficit, chronic enrollment challenges, and growing morale issues. It has been impressive to watch as they have successfully increased our enrollment and fiscal responsibility. They have my 100% support with their effort. Thank you, Dr. Romali, for bringing respect, morale, and honor to our institution. I look forward to seeing what tremendous results you will continue to deliver for us. Lastly, my Iranian American and my Jewish community. I hope to make you proud and hope you will be my partner in my effort to help heal the world, starting with public service in our local communities. Finally, welcome and congratulations to our new colleague, Uduak Joe Intuk, and his mini-me, Justice Intuk, who, as you can see, will be our next president, I hope. And congratulations to my partner and great friend, Dr. Virginia Baxter, on her reelection. Thank you all for coming this evening, and may God bless you. May God bless Long Beach and our community college district, and may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you. All right, now we're going to go to item 3.1, and just bear with us if you can. If you have to go, we won't take it personally. Annual reorganization of the Board of Trustees, and we're going to, she already did. Nominations for President of the Board. So we're going to switch seats with, I'm going to switch seats with Dr. Reagan Romoli as the Secretary of the Board, and we're going to go about doing this reorganization. Thank you.
Pursuant to Policy Regulation 20151, at the annual organizational meeting, the Board of Trustees shall elect officers for the succeeding year. I hereby open the floor for nominations for President of the Board for 2018-2019.
Madam Secretary, I'd like to nominate Sunny Zia as president.
Second.
First by Baxter, second by Trustee Otto. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, then I declare the nominations closed. Ms. Hahn, will you please call the roll?
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye.
Congratulations, President Zia. I hereby open the floor for nominations for Vice President of the Board for 2018-2019.
Madam Secretary, I'd like to nominate Vivian Malauulu.
First by Trustee Entuck,
Second.
second by Trustee Otto. Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, then I declare the nominations closed. Ms. Hahn, will you please call the roll?
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Trustee Malauulu.
Okay. I believe we are at the committee appointments, just on item 3.3, representative to the Los Angeles County Committee on School District Organization. So it is recommended that the board elect a representative to serve on the Los Angeles County Committee on School District Organization. I'd like to appoint Trustee Malauulu on this committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam President, please call the roll.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye. Okay, we now move to item 3.4, representative to the Los Angeles County School Trustee Association. It is recommended that the board designate a representative to the 2018-2019 Los Angeles County School Trustees Association. I'd like to appoint Trustee Malauulu on this, Trustee Baxter, if that's okay with you, on this committee. Do I have a second?
Second.
Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye. Item 3.5, appointment of additional board member to the Audit Subcommittee pursuant to Board Administrative Regulation 2013.3B. The members of the Audit Subcommittee shall be the President of the Board of Trustees and another member of the board to be appointed by the Board President. I'd like to substitute myself and have Trustee Otto in my place, and I'd like to appoint Trustee Intuk on the Audit Committee. Trustee Otto, might that be okay with you?
Yes.
Okay, great. I don't think there's a vote on this item, so we can go on to item 3.6, public comments on agenda items. A total of 3 minutes will be allotted to each speaker, with a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject, unless extended by the board president. Now, if you guys can also speak on the items of oath of office as well. I don't know if that was clear, because those were agendized. So if anybody wants to say a few words about the people who have been elected and been sworn in, you're more than welcome to. But we have one speaker card from Carrie Giroux with Port of Long Beach on agenda item 7.1. Carrie, if you can kindly come up.
Good evening. Okay, it's on. First of all, congratulations to the newly sworn in trustees and the newly elected board president and vice president. Here representing the Port of Long Beach, and I have to give my apologies for Mario Cordero, who actually stayed as long as he could and then was double booked, but he wanted me to give his apologies. And I just really wanted to speak on the workforce training item. The Port of Long Beach Maritime Center of Excellence at Long Beach City College. Last night, our Board of Harbor Commissioners unanimously approved this item. We are very, very excited, and I just wanted to speak on that and commend Dr. Ramali and the whole team for being so great to work with in getting to this point to having an agreement, and hopefully you'll be able to move forward this evening. That's really all I wanted to say. Thank you very, very much. We're very, very excited. And congratulations to everyone. And thank you, Dr. Scott, for coming last night.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Carrie. Are there any other members of the public who wish to speak on the agenda items? Janae, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you so much. Janae Hund, faculty president, Faculty Association. And I just want to say I'm ecstatic to see the three of you that are sworn in this evening, and just the diversity that's represented here at the dais this evening. This is a remarkable evening, and I'm just so happy to experience it. Thank you.
Thank you, Janae. Are there anybody else? I think Justice wants to say a few words, but maybe in a couple of years. So with that, I'm going to move to item 4, recess. We're going to take a brief recess of let's say 15 minutes. We're going to adjourn at I'm sorry. We have a yes from Senator Ricardo Lara's office. Yes, I'm sorry. If you could state your name.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the time. My name is Julia Juarez. I'm District Director for Senator Ricardo Lara. Wanted to congratulate the board members and also President Sunny Zia.
Thank you.
We are delighted to be working with each one of you to improve, always look forward to improving the educational success of our students here in Long Beach. And so on behalf of Senator Ricardo Lara and the entire staff, we are delighted to work with you.
Thank you. Thank you for the work you do. Okay, if there's nobody else, we can take the recess and perhaps adjourn at 7 o'clock. I'll give you a little bit more than 15 minutes. Would that be okay, everyone? All right, so you guys can mingle, can say your goodbyes, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock. Thank you. All right, everyone, can we be seated, please? And we're going to resume the meeting. Okay, I think there's something wrong with my mic. Okay. All right, can you turn it up? Okay, can everybody hear me? Thank you, everyone, for being here. So we're going to go to item 5, consent agenda. If we can have all the board members take their seat. Item 5.1, any item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately if a member of the Board of Trustees so requests. I didn't get any requests to remove any items from the consent agenda, so may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Awesome, okay. So now we're going to be moving to item 6.
Do we need to vote on the consent
And
agenda?
we'll take the roll. I'm sorry.
Let's take a vote. Yes, thank you, Trustee Intuk. So, Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
1 second,
Aye.
we're catching up.
Aye.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
Sunny Zia.
Aye.
And Student Trustee Donnell Jones.
Aye.
Okay, we now move to item 6.1, employment contract revised with Eugene Carbonero, Dean of Career Technical Education. The recommended action that the Board of Trustees approve the revised employment contract for Eugene Carbonero, Dean Career Technical Education. As submitted, the employment contract provides for a term of employment from July 1, 2018 through July 30th, 2020. The contract was submitted and approved by the Board of Trustees on June 26, 2018. However, the salary stated was incorrect. The revised contract provides for an annual compensation of $142,471 along with health and welfare benefits and life insurance. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Baxter, seconded by Trustee Otto. Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto. And Sunny Zia.
Aye. Item 6.2, employment contract with Elizabeth Orr, Dean, Social Sciences and Arts. That the Board of Trustees, the recommended action is that the Board of Trustees approve the employment contract for Elizabeth Orr, Dean of Social Sciences and Arts, as submitted. The employment contract provides for a term of employment from June 30th, 2018 through June 30, 2019. The contract provides for an annual compensation of $142,471 along with health and welfare benefits and life insurance. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Trustee Baxter, seconded by Trustee Untuk. Madam Secretary, can you please call the roll?
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Aye.
Uduak Joe Intuk.
Aye.
Doug Otto.
Aye.
And Sunny Zia.
Aye. Item 7.1, agreement with the Port of Long Beach for a one-year pilot program to develop a maritime center of excellence at Long Beach City College. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the agreement for a one-year pilot program to develop a Port of Long Beach Maritime Center of Excellence at Long Beach City College as submitted. I will recuse myself on this item because I am an employee of the Port of Long Beach, and I will hand the seat to Vice President Malauulu to conduct the vote. I'm going to recuse myself.
Thank you. 7.1, Madam Secretary?
Can we have a motion?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Baxter made the motion and Trustee Untuck seconded. And I read the recommended action.
Virginia Baxter.
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu.
Point of order.
I need to read the motion.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry. It has been moved and seconded, and the recommended action, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the agreement for a one-year pilot program to develop a Port of Long Beach Maritime Center of Excellence at Long Beach City College as submitted. And do I need to continue reading or just stop right there? How far down would you like me to read? For those in the public who are interested in the information that we are voting on, it is item 7.1 on the agenda, and the details are included. I will just stop at that recommended action, and the details are there for your reference. It has been moved and seconded, and now we will go to the vote. Any discussion on the item?
Sure.
Trustee Untuck?
Thank you for the recognition, Vice President Malauulu. I was reading through this. I think it was on the port agenda yesterday. Right. Were you able to get a little background information on this program? And maybe it's been before the board before, but I just wanted to get a little summary. If there was someone from the port or who could speak to it.
She's right there.
Or
Thank you. I can address it, and then we can also share the information with the Port Authority. We're really excited at the opportunity to partner with the Port of Long Beach to develop the Maritime Center of Excellence. The goal is to provide additional avenues for our residents in developing those careers that can be utilized at the port. Your board item does include a list of them, but we're really looking at a supply chain and logistics center, and to provide a short-term educational opportunity with a lifelong benefit in focusing on career paths at the port.
You know what the SOC codes are that we're particularly focused on? Or what job codes are? I saw there was a referenced labor study done by Long Beach State but I didn't see it as an appendix.
Yes.
And I Googled and I didn't find it online. So I didn't know if that labor study done by the Cal State Long Beach's Center for International Trade and Transportation is available or as a reference to this report.
Well, I think there were several studies. Oh, sorry.
So I would just like to welcome you to the podium. It's Carrie DeGrode, right?
Carrie Giroux.
Carrie Giroux, for the record. I apologize. Thank you. And if you could clarify Trustee Untuck's questions. Thank you.
Yes, so in the original agreement proposal, there were several studies that were referenced, and one of those was the LA Economic Development Corporation, as well as another study done by PG Wynn. And it pointed out, and this was wonderful information that was provided to us by those that put together the proposal. So that referenced a need for, there's an in-demand middle skills jobs that is a huge need, and this relates to workforce training and things like that. So there is supply chain management, logistics. There are those sorts of, there's a list of 7 categories in the proposal, and there are 5 activities that are clearly defined as the outcomes with this agreement. And so, excuse me. So one of those is developing these short-term training programs in these logistics areas that would then move these individuals, utilizing the certificate program, that would move these individuals then into these available jobs. There's also working with our Academy of Global Logistics, creating a boot camp for that, which helps the Port of Long Beach with our academy at Cabrillo High School provide a bridge to Long Beach City College. Since our academy has been very, very successful at Cabrillo High School, we'd like to have some way to help move those students from the academy into Long Beach City College and then into these programs as well. Then there is the training programs. There's also an advisory committee that will be created. So these are 3 of the 5 activities. And I'm not actually looking at the proposal, but that's everything that I can remember from what I've been reading and what we've gone through on this proposal. So I'm happy to answer any other questions if you have those.
Great. Just on the certificate, is it credit, non-credit certificate?
Well, this is determined by, I think, by Long Beach City College administration.
Correct. The first step is to develop the curriculum and the courses. I believe it will be non-credit, but we are developing those courses once we have this agreement in place.
And the contribution from the port, I mean, I see $60,000. Is that the port's contribution to the program, or is that a joint?
For this 1-year pilot, yes, and that was based on a budget provided to us.
And where will the center be housed?
I think that's under discussion here, certainly, at Long Beach City College.
Correct. We have many
That
of
would
our...
be up to you folks, I think.
Right. We currently have many of our trades classes at PCC, but the final determination of the placement of those courses has yet to be determined.
I have a question. This maritime program actually sounds like a wonderful idea. Wonderful. I apologize.
No, you're okay. You're okay. I would like to add a couple comments, but I'm going to allow the student trustee to speak. And then, Shani, were you walking up to speak on this item at the dais? I saw you walking up, but I wasn't sure. Okay, great. So if Carrie would yield to you, and if you wanted to add to Trustee Untuck's questions, and that would be great. And then, student trustee, I'll come right back to you 1 second.
Yes, I'm happy to yield.
Actually, I would defer to Dr. Scott. She's very involved with this, and she has the information, I think, that will answer some of those questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so student trustee, you had a question, right?
Yes. The program sounds like a wonderful opportunity for our students here on campus. One question I do have, especially with the idea that it's not going to be for credit, how will this affect our push for FTES and completion awards?
It could possibly have 3 components: not for credit, non-credit, and also credit. We do receive FTES funding, and 50% of our funding will, or at least 50% and possibly more, will be based on our FTES. So we get FTES for non-credit. Just to be clear with that. We don't get completion for non-credit. But many of our students, we try to create stackable certificates so people could come in and start with non-credit. They could move into a credit certificate, which we have for this program. And we are also in the process of developing additional certificates. And then they could move into the credit program and possibly into an AA degree. They could move into a bachelor's degree at Cal State Long Beach. And so that's how we would see the pathway.
And then also, how soon will we have an idea as to, will we have the specifics on this? I know we have to develop the curriculum first.
We have some of the curriculum already. We're continuing to develop more and more. For example, we have forklift that we've started recently. We have a credit. We're going to be creating a non-credit program. But part of this proposal is to create an informal advisory committee to bring in industry to get input on what our curriculum should be, what types of programs we should be offering. And we're looking at including more in terms of technology into our existing program, which is very business focused right now. Looking more at purchasing, inventory control, transportation, and those kinds of things. So we're looking at developing many certificates and different programs that would serve a variety of needs for the community.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, I have, I would just like to add, when I was looking at this and I saw those different job categories listed, from a labor perspective, those job categories are strictly employer jobs. They're from the company, from the terminal operators. And I didn't really see, where it says shipping and receiving clerk is probably the only one that alludes to the longshore aspect of the Port of Long Beach. And as the resident longshore worker on this board, I feel an obligation to just bring up the fact that the ILWU should be an integral part of this program. If anything, just to highlight some of the very unique and, often mysterious jobs that we do, there is nothing on there that talks about some of the heavy equipment operators, the crane drivers, the top handler, the hammerheads, the swing. I mean, these are words that the average person has no clue. It's longshore jargon. Nobody knows what that is. But those are jobs that my husband, we do every day. So if there is some way that you could incorporate and I know I have been in contact with Alejandra Guitron, and we've had some conversations about highlighting and including more of the longshore labor aspect into this program, because that's really the job that these students would have more exposure to at their age level than a management job working at a terminal. We have 18, 19-year-olds that are out there driving UTR every night. So the possibility of them having one of those jobs at this age level is more likely than for them to have one of the jobs that are listed here. So I think we have to keep it real, just be a little bit more realistic. I would personally like to see, it obviously can't be taught because it's on-the-job training, but to have it mentioned and to have it included and to let the students who participate in this program know that these jobs are out there, and the fact that, you know, it's only been in the last maybe dozen years or so where women have also basically flooded the longshore industry. You know, we would look at pictures of longshore workers 20, 30 years ago, and they were all men. And when people find out that I'm a longshore worker, they're like, you know, they're not expecting females to work on the docks. So if you know, something could be done to address that, that's my only contribution. And I'd be happy to meet with you and happy to, you know, provide information and people to come in and add to that. I think it would make for a richer, more fuller experience for the students.
I think, yes, and if I could just address that as we work our way through this pilot program with President Romali and their team. I'm sure, you know, those adaptations will unfold, and we'll work together moving forward to find the program beyond the pilot. Hopefully, ideally, I think that we're all invested, and so I think that will be unfolding, and we want to make sure that this will be training and in-demand middle skills jobs that are realistic, and that we'll be providing those opportunities, I think, through this program. So this will be unfolding, and it'll be working together to identify that. So thank you.
Vice President.
Sure. Vice President Scott.
Yeah, thank you. We did have a meeting on Monday about the commercial truck driving program, and this is designed for students or the public who already have a Class A license. And in some cases, they don't actually have to have it. They could get it afterwards. But this would give the Twix card and access to the port and all of those types of jobs. So we had that meeting. Shani was in there on Monday, and we're developing that. We have some of the curriculum already, about half of it. We're in the process of developing the rest, and we see that as part of this also, just to be clear.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Any additional second-time speaker?
All right, everyone. Hey, thank you so much. I'm a graduate of the Global Logistics program at Long Beach State, so I know firsthand it's a great program and a growth industry. One question I had, or I hope to, you know, I know this will move forward tonight, but hopefully, I think Cabrillo is a great place to partner, and thinking about the equity and inclusion piece of this, of our marketing plan, making sure we're including ethnic media, and periodicals in our outreach. But also, I don't know if there's an intentional component that's equity in this. And I have one other question after that. I don't know if you can answer that or if Dr. Scott can answer that.
I'll yield to Dr. Scott.
I'm sorry, your question was in regards to equity?
The equity component of this program?
Well, we believe that this would serve the community in terms of who our students are, and our students are very diverse, and we would certainly go out. We know that Central Cha, for example, has been asking for this type of training, in addition to the forklift, which they've been asking for many, many times in the last few times I've talked to them. So we would recruit within our community and make this available to everybody. I don't know exactly how else to answer that question.
I think it's a great idea that you talked about the purposeful marketing in equity media. So we'll make a note to absolutely do that. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, and I think of the context of the new funding formula, a percentage of that is equity. So I don't know if making sure that we're including students who are eligible for the governor's fee waiver, or if these are going to be high school students who are eligible for it, or being intentional in our outreach into different communities, or are we planning to partner with Centro Cha in the delivery of this program?
Yes, we're working with Centro Cha. We're also working with the adult high school, and we would certainly work with them to have them send us students. Our marketing people would work with us as well, and I completely agree. We want to try to target the low-income population in the area.
Great.
In
And
terms of
last
that
question.
portion of the equity.
Great, and I think it's an ongoing conversation how we include it, and address it going forward with our budget and how it's a new measurement, even though it may not be measurement for this program since it's new and not for credit yet. I wanted the academic senate president, if he had a chance to review this, or what the academic senate's perspective is on the new program and process.
Unfortunately, this is the first time I got to see this, so this has not been shown to us before.
Is the process, once it gets formalized, will eventually go through the academic senate?
So the curriculum committee is responsible for the courses that are being developed. So that falls under the faculty and the Senate. However, this entire plan has not been shared with the Senate.
Thank you.
Any additional discussion? Okay, so if somebody could call for the question, we will vote on the item.
Call the question.
Virginia Baxter,
Aye.
Vivian Malauulu,
Aye.
Uduak Joe Ntuk,
Aye.
Doug Otto,
Aye.
Sunny Zia's excused.
She's
and
abstained.
Student Trustee Jones.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone.
Should I mention?
They made a mistake and started signing again on the second page, so you might as well, because it's just.
All right, so we now move to item 8.1, Academic Senate President report. Academic Senate President, if you could please.
Thank you, President Zia. I don't have any report. I just want to, on behalf of the faculty, congratulate the newly sworn-in trustees, and looking forward working with you all for the next year. Thank you.
Great, thank you. 8.2, Classified Senate President's Report.
Thank you, Board President Zia. I just want to congratulate Trustee Zia and Baxter on your reelection, and it's fantastic to see you in the President's chair. Congratulations. And I want to congratulate and welcome Board Trustee Ntuk. We look forward to working with you in this term. And I do want you to know that the Classified Senate is going to be having their first Classified Senate retreat in August, and it's going to be very educational for us, and we're excited to be a part of that. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you. 8.3, Student Trustee Report. Donnell.
I would like to echo the same that the academic president said as well. I don't have a report, but I do want to congratulate the trustees for re-election and for the appointment of, or the election of Mr. Uduak Ntuk as our new trustee.
Okay, great. Thank you. 8.4, Board of Trustees reports. I'm going to start with Trustee Baxter, if you could.
Okay, thank
please.
you, President Zia. I have a very short report. First of all, I want to congratulate the Child Development Associates who had a fundraiser at Mod Pizza. It was very successful, and they are a very hardworking group, and I salute all the efforts that they put into raising funds for the Child Development Center at the Pacific Coast campus. Then I also want to praise the California Pizza Kitchen, because throughout Southern California, they had a night where the proceeds would go toward the fund for Captain Dave Sosa of the Long Beach Fire Department. And so I think this was really a nice showing of a corporation that wanted to help with his fund, and I congratulate them. Trustee Zia and I attended a pool party on Saturday. It was not intended to be a fundraiser, but it turned out to be a fundraiser, and that always makes us happy, for our Homeless Students Fund. And so I want to thank Mr. and Mrs. Jerry Green for opening their home and giving us a wonderful afternoon at their home. Then I also want to encourage the community to go to the annual summer band concert on Monday, July 30th. It's free and open to the public. You can bring your lawn chairs and enjoy the music put on by the summer band program. It will be is it in front of the auditorium or in front of the administration building? I think it's in front of the auditorium. They are asking that people RSVP, and I have to tell you that I RSVP'd today, and I said 5 times, I am not a robot, and I still was not accepted. So who's ever in charge of this concert, I'm bringing 6 people, so will you give me 6 spaces? I'm not kidding. They kept showing these pictures. How many buses are in this picture? And I type in how many, and and I am not a robot. But thank you, President Zia.
Maybe you are a robot.
On the contrary, Trustee Baxter, you're quite lively, and you certainly bring a lot of love and energy into my world and all of us. I could speak for all of us if I could take that liberty. Trustee Malauulu, Vice President Malauulu, excuse me, if you could go with your report next.
Thank you very much. I probably have the shortest report I've ever made. I just would like to begin once again by thanking the staff for allowing me to teleconference last month's meeting. I was away, so I really appreciate being able to participate and contribute that way. And I would just, I would like to congratulate and thank Trustee Jenny Baxter and newly elected Board President Sunny Zia for their service and their re-election, and not having to actually go through a campaign because their constituents have so much faith in them that they were unopposed. So I would like to really congratulate them on that and thank them for their service. And I would like to congratulate and recognize our newest member, Trustee Untuck. I am so happy inside, just really, really happy to see you here. I know the road that you walked, and I know the hard work that you put into this campaign, and I'm just very proud to have had a very small role in your success, and I look forward to the many great things that you have ideas for and plans and really exciting stuff, and I think that it says a lot. She's not here anymore, but LBCCFA President Janae Hun mentioned the diversity on this board, and I would just like to acknowledge the fact that, Trustee Zia and myself are both immigrants to this country. Education has changed our lives, as Trustee Untuck, and I'm sure that Dr. Baxter and Trustee Otto also have similar experiences with how education has changed them, especially because, of their ties to this college. So, this might sound weird for me to say. You guys are really lucky to have us, but you really are. I don't mean to make that sound weird, but the fact that we have a board that you can really relate to, and most importantly, our students, I'm actually saying that to our students, the fact that you have a board that you could look toward and see some of yourself in, the fact that you've got a board that, you might be able to just really identify with some of us up here and some of our experiences in life. I think that says a lot. I think it really says a lot. And maybe I'm not expressing myself because of this emotional, ball that I'm feeling in my throat, and I'm trying to keep it together and not cry. But I'm really proud to be a member of this board. I'm very grateful to have been elected to serve as vice president. I really appreciate that vote of confidence and faith. And just, we've done a really good work in the past year. And gosh, somebody needs to just write a book about some of the things that have happened at this college in the last year. It's almost like this hand came in and just, really stirred things up. I think Dr. Romali was the first step in that. And I think having a faculty that is here and present and active and engaged, and having a classified staff who goes above and beyond every day. We have administrators. I get that we've had a lot of changes, but these have been very positive changes. These have been very good changes, and we are so lucky, myself included, to be a part of it and to really have this historic moment here. The first African-American male on the board. I'm thrilled. We've got a student who also represents such a large part of our students in terms of, all of us. We're all, I'm going to just stop. I said it was going to be a short report. Thank you, everybody. Congratulations.
Thank you, Vice President Malauulu, for those heartfelt words, and thank you for your service and commitment. So I'm going to go to Trustee Intuk for his report, and then we'll conclude with Trustee Otto.
Thank you, President Zia. Thank you, everyone, again for coming out tonight. I wanted to share a few things as it's been quite a long 3-month transition period. I have several friends who have run for office twice and have already got seated. And I had my one election and just now getting seated. So, but really happy to be here. And in that 3-month period, I've really taken an approach of trying to add on to, yes, I've had my lived experience on campus. I've served on the Personnel Commission the last 2.5 years, but go through and meeting who's here today, what are the different departments, the org chart. So I want to thank Dr. Romali. We've had 7 transition meetings here on campus where I've been able to meet with different vice presidents, different deans, all the employee groups, go on tours of the different facilities, and really try to get a better understanding of who's really making all the magic happen here on campus. And so it's been quite a great learning experience, and I know I have more to learn, and I will be scheduling additional meetings with folks, so don't be surprised when Trustee Intuk wants to do a sit-down on your department or come by the library, or it's about having a better understanding of what's going on campus so that I can help make more informed decisions. Also, I have an off-campus transition team that has been meeting and will continue to meet to evaluate ideas and feedback, look at new opportunities, and so I'm really thankful. There's about a dozen folks in the community that have been part of that and been supportive, and so I want to thank them. And I'm all in with trying to help turn the tide around. I got my 19-year-old signed up for summer classes to help with enrollment. So she's a sophomore at Dominguez Hills, but she's started political science class last week, and so getting her 3 units in, and it's been good for me because I'm learning the Viking ID system, the learning management system, and how registration really works, and it's and I think I'm going to have to probably sign up for a class here as well. But it's been quite a learning experience to go through it firsthand. And so, and I've also been engaged with the community, a number of community meetings, neighborhood association meetings, but notably last Saturday, the 14th, I visited Compton College. They had a ceremony about restoring local control, and they talked about their pathway through going into receivership and out of receivership, and kind of we have a new competition on the horizon, particularly they're adjacent to my part of town, and they're making an aggressive marketing plan to come for North Long Beach students. So we have to be ready. I think it's a healthy and friendly competition, but Compton College is back, no longer going to be El Camino North campus, and so they'll get their full accreditation next summer of 2019. But I got an opportunity to meet with some of the board members and learn what some of the issues that are going on adjacent and understand. And then tomorrow night, I guess I get my first award as being a trustee. I'm getting recognized by the Empowerment Congress for 40 Under 40 award, so by Supervisor Mark Ridley Thomas. So I have an event to attend. And then just closing note, next meeting I'll be teleconferencing into the August 2nd meeting. So I've already let the staff know, but I'll be calling into that meeting. So thank you everybody again for all your support and well wishes.
Trustee Otto, do you have a report?
Congratulations to our 2 re-elected trustees, Trustee Z and Trustee Baxter, and to you, Uduak, for your election, and we'll look forward to working with you. Sitting here tonight, I was thinking, I don't think that there is a community college board in California, perhaps in the United States, where it's the members are 40% engineers. I'm not sure what that means, but I don't think that's probably not true. So I'm looking forward to working with all of you, and it's a great beginning. That's all.
Wow, Trustee Otto, thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate it. I think we certainly need more engineers in our country, but we love our attorneys too, who help bail us out. So thank you for your always amusing report. I don't have too much to report on. Trustee Baxter has already reported on some of the items, but I just wanted to thank our hardworking staff for making today such a success. The flowers, everything was just impeccable. And Superintendent President Dr. Romali, your leadership is shining. It's just evident. You're just so precise, and I love watching you in action. And it's just, there's nothing, I'm not a very easy person to impress, and to come and not have something to pick on is seldom possible. But no, I really want to thank you and your amazing staff. Everything was perfect. And also our facilities staff who set it up and cleaned up afterwards. I saw them going in the room, just so efficient. I also want to thank my colleagues for your faith and trust in me, and thank you for voting me as your president. And I want to congratulate our vice president. I'm very excited for you. You did a fantastic job on item 7.1. Tonight, so that's just a testament on how good of a president you're going to be next year, hopefully. So I also wanted to congratulate Trustee Baxter. As some of you may know, Trustee Baxter is like a older sister, a little bit more seasoned than I am, a lot more seasoned, but just a sister, Catholic sister is what I call her, and I'm her Jewish sister from another mister, is what we talk about all the time. I just want to really honor you and thank you for your hard work, Trustee Baxter. You have just been a delight, a true partner for me, and through the hard times where I just felt like, this is not, I'm just ready to give up, and when no one came to my aid, you did, and I will always remember that. And I really value and cherish your hard work for our homeless students. I had the idea, I put in some work, I work with the county on some legislation, the County of LA, but I have to tell you, Dr. Baxter, Trustee Baxter is there day in and day out, and she's doing the heavy lifting. So I honor you and thank you for that. And congratulations. It's fantastic. So looking forward to working with you and expanding on our partnership. And I just want to echo Vice President Malauulu's remarks. I am going to try not to choke up, but I think she did such a beautiful job of congratulating you, Uduak. I have a little bit more of a bias. I have to say that I'm so honored. I'm so happy and proud that I have a fellow engineer. I forget how many degrees you have. You have so many. I always butcher. And I'm just so excited that, it was almost like, I kept telling Uduak, it's like, I got breaking news for you, Sonny. We're going to do this. And it was just so good too good to be true for the second that it happened. And I just want you to know that I'm elated. I know you have such a big heart. You are incredible human being. I know you before, getting on the board and in public office, and the work that we've done together, and your broad reach to the underprivileged students. A lot of the work that many don't know that I've witnessed you do beyond just Long Beach, and I just really am excited that you have come on this board, you've been elected on this board, you're going to do fantastic, and I can't wait to see what results you're going to produce, and I can't wait to be your partner. So congratulations, Uduak. So proud. Thank you for making my year, if not decade. And with that, I just, I think if there is, we have no trustee committee reports, and then 9.1, did you have a trustee committee report? No. Okay, 9.1, trustee, so this is on the future items. As we may request or recommend future agenda items or reports, but only with the consensus of the board. So I want to ask if anybody, this sounds like Vice President.
haven't gotten to
Yeah,
that.
that's item 10.
And actually, I'd like to make a request, hoping people will.
Chair recognizes Trustee Otto.
Oh.
Yeah. As we know, there's a new sheriff in town called the new funding formula, and it's somewhat complicated, and there's also an online college that statewide that's coming in, and I'd like to get a report on those two big changes in community colleges, because it's going to affect the way we do things, and I know there's a roll-in period, and that's, I think, to our benefit, but I think the public needs to understand that that we're doing things much differently than we have been doing in the past with incentive funding. So.
Okay, is there consensus of the board? I don't hear any objections. Okay.
Do we need a motion?
No, it's just if anybody has any objections and wants to discuss it. I apologize, Vice President Malauulu. You called to be recognized first, and I failed to do that. So, Vice President Malauulu, if you have any items you'd like to add.
I do, and it's okay. I let Trustee Otto cut in front of me right there. It's okay. I would like to add 2 items to the agenda for possible discussion, if it's okay with the board. The first item I'd like to add is reorganization of the agenda. And President Romali, please correct me if this is a point of order issue, if it's something that needs to be discussed, off the dais. But I would like the board to have an agenda item so that we can reorganize the agenda for future board meetings. Okay, yeah, so that we could reorder the agenda, make that an agenda item, so if anybody does want to do public comments on it. And then the second item, and again, correct me if this is a point of order item, but I would like the board to agendize possibly moving our meeting day from Tuesday to an alternate day of the week. Case in point, today we had so many city council members who had to jet to a city council meeting, and I know that Long Beach Unified changed their meeting days because of a similar conflict. So if we could, work together with other city boards, the Long Beach Unified, the city council, so that if residents want to attend a meeting, they're not torn, and if we can agendize that and open it up for discussion, I would like to add those 2 items.
Can I make a suggestion?
Chair recognizes Trustee Otto.
Yeah, I think for reorganizing the agenda, that it would be appropriate and productive to appoint a 2-person committee of members of the board, including, if you're willing, Trustee Zia, because it's really your year to do the agenda the way you want, and then come back with thoughts about doing it rather than just have a discussion as an agenda item, think through some of these issues. And then on the issue of the day of the meeting, what we should do, I think we should get input from our superintendent president and maybe a report back to us so that we could consider it, and that would be an appropriate way to do that.
Just to make sure I understand, I think Vice President Malauulu, is your request to have an agenda item where reorganizing an agenda item that any board member can reorganize? Is that the request, or is it reorganizing a specific set of items to be?
No, neither. My request is to have an agenda item at next month's meeting as a discussion item for the board to reorganize the agenda, period, to permanently reorganize the agenda, particularly moving some of the reports further up the agenda, and to agendize the item so that we could hear public comment on it. Because without it being agendized, nobody would really have any input. So my request is to agendize as a board, having a complete, it doesn't have to be complete, maybe 1 or 2 items, but basically not a per meeting situation, but a permanent reorganizing the agenda. And then the second item that I requested is to have to agendize having our board meetings on a different day of the week. And then Trustee Otto suggested setting up committees to do that, to bring back reports on that.
Right. So just so we're clear, the president sets the agenda, and we've been doing that traditionally. And your request is like we look at the entire agenda for the reorganization. Is that the okay? So I have an objection to this because of the volume of work and the level of discussion it will take. I don't know if anybody else has an objection. I think as president, it would be within the purview of the chair to put together the agenda as we've done in the past. And what I was going to do, just for a matter of disclosure, and next time around, you'll see the updates based on the feedback we've received from our bargaining teams groups. So with that, if anybody else has any objections, or I want to just make sure we have consensus on this item. If it's just me, I'm happy to, because we have to have a consensus on items being proposed. Yes, Chair recognizes Trustee Intuk.
Yeah, thank you. One, I think I would like to see what new agenda ordering the new president brings forward, and I don't know if we'll see that in
Next
September.
agenda. August 21st.
Yeah, first. I'd like to see what that is, but at the same time, I don't think we need to overanalyze anything too much with reorganizing the agenda. We did this on the Personnel Commission as an agenda item, and we were able to get through it in 15 minutes or so. I would also, as far as the process, is evaluate the public comment timing. I know different boards do public comments at different times. It's interesting. We have it, one slot on agenda items in the beginning, and then no one else has an opportunity to speak once it goes forward. If you look at the Personnel Commission, we had people could speak at every agenda item if there was public comment requested at it. You look at the City Council, they do that as well. But we put our non-agenda item public comments at the very end. And so if someone has something to say, you might have to wait 3 hours to say it, and it's not very inclusive for asking the public to participate in the process. So beyond just the reordering of maybe board reports, I'm also interested in the public comment piece of that. But I do not support creating a committee because I don't think it's necessary.
Trustee Zia?
Trustee Baxter, I believe Trustee Otto had his hand up. If it's okay with you, I'm going to recognize him first. Trustee Otto, did you?
I yield.
Okay.
All
Thank
I
you.
wanted to say is perhaps we ought to ask President Romali to make a presentation before we decide to change the agenda. There has got to be a reason for the way that we have the agenda. And so rather than just change it because it sounds like a good idea, I'd like to have being a historian, I always like to know the history of all this. So I don't mean at this moment, but maybe at the next meeting. I don't object to it, but I think there's got to be a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know, Trustee Uduak, Trustee Untek, what you're saying, because I remember one time before I was elected, there were 20 or 30 people in the audience, and they were fuming because they were speaking on a non-agenda item, and they had to wait till the end. But the person who gathered those people should have explained that to them so that they were mad at the board, but that's our procedure. So I understand what you're saying, but I also think we need to hear the history of why it's that way and go from there.
Okay. Thank you, Trustee Baxter. So with that, here's what I recommend. I'm going to propose for the next agenda, when we first put the bargaining group's reports, it was never discussed with the board. It was a discretion of the president and the superintendent. So therefore, I will bring the bargaining groups forward after the superintendent president's report. First will be the student trustees, then the superintendent, then the bargaining groups. And we're going to also look at the public comments on each item. I think that's a very valid point, and I do agree with you, Trustee Intuk. I don't think we need any more committees. So with that, I think if there's no objections, I'm going to move on. So is that clear, Superintendent President Romali?
Are you going to include a report back?
we're going to, no, I'm not going to bring back a report. What I'm going to do is, what we're going to do is next board meeting, you'll see a reordering of the agenda with the bargaining groups. This is the August 21st board meeting. I believe it's August 21st. With the bargaining groups at the top after superintendent president and after the student trustees report. And then we're going to have for each item an opportunity for the public to comment. And that's as the point of personal privilege and the president that sets the agenda per our policies. That's what I'm going to do. Yes, Vice President Malauulu.
I would just like to concur with the gist of what you just said, as far as having public comment coincide with each agenda item. I'm not sure how we would work it here, and I would, trust that between you and our superintendent president, the two of you can come up with a plan that works. But one model that I actually like is, for example, the city council meetings. When an agenda item comes up, the public is allowed to speak on that item. So if they need to leave, they need to leave. They don't have to sit there through 37 items. If their item is number 6 on the agenda, they speak on item number 6, they wait for the vote, and then they exit. So it just makes for a more productive meeting, and it also takes into consideration a courtesy for the public who perhaps, has an agenda item early or later. I know that I time my attendance at city council meetings based on where the item I'm interested in is. And if it's item 31, sometimes I don't need to be there at 5. I can get there at 7. So it's just a courtesy to the public to give them that opportunity. So I hope that you take that into consideration when you guys reorganize it.
Absolutely, Vice President Malauulu, and I that's exactly what my intent is, and I agree. I think we have consensus, so let's move on to reports from our bargaining associations.
Agenda items.
Okay, Trustee Ntuk, did you want to add further items?
Yeah, I had 2 items. One, I'd like a report back maybe in September on the impact of the United States Supreme Court case Janus versus ASME, and what has the campus done to comply with the Supreme Court ruling that was this last month, and any impacts it's had on campus, whether HR or payroll or any of our labor organizations, just to have an understanding of, it's a macro level issue, but I know it had local impact, and maybe that's already happened, but if
I
there
apologize,
could
I
be
missed the second half of that. Your mic cut out just a smidge, the second portion.
Sorry.
I've got the impact of the Janus case and what have we done to comply with it, and then I missed the second piece.
It was what impacts did it have on our employee groups?
Thank you.
I figure with AFT and the faculty, I don't know if it impacted our police folks, but any
Point of information.
potential,
Chair recognizes Vice President Malauulu.
Sorry to interrupt, Trustee Ntuk. I would just like to raise a point of information on the Janus case. I don't think that the college. We're not technically impacted by that decision. I think it's the bargaining units that are, and I think that maybe. I just want to make sure that we don't do anything goofy. Are you asking for maybe a report from the bargaining units to report back on the Janus impact? Because the college really, it's not really up to us. Am I misunderstanding?
So with regard to Janus and the collection of agency fees, we take our direction directly from the bargaining unit, not the employee. So what we deduct or don't deduct, or the opt-in or not opt-out, comes directly from the leadership of the bargaining unit. And I don't know if that answers your question.
So the bargaining unit, so Trustee Ntuk's request for the impact on Janus is not a request of the college, right? You as a compliance officer for HR, right?
Yes, so as far as any impact on the college, we could certainly discuss communications as you wish to the bargaining units, maybe what payroll is done, and it would be pretty brief. But we're happy to share whatever we can. Absolutely.
We did have a presentation at the Personnel Commission prior to the ruling, the immediate impact of no longer collecting agency shop fees, and we were impacted or potentially impacted if we went through. And my understanding, as soon as the ruling happened, that payroll period, some portion of fees were not collected. So I don't know what percent that was, or and yes, it wouldn't. Those fees weren't going to the college, but we had a role in implementing the ruling. So, I mean, maybe it's very brief.
We're happy to look at what was presented to the Personnel Commission and model something similar for this board. We're happy to do that.
Okay, so the way I understand it is the item is going to be just on the adjustments and the role of the district in collecting those fees, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other information would come from the bargaining unit.
All right, do we have consensus of the board that that would be an item you'd like to see come before you? Okay. And then one more?
One last one, hopefully we can do it in September. I'd like to ask for a report back on the establishment of a new bus pass program that can be focused on increasing our enrollment, working with Long Beach Transit, Metro, and also the city. There's evaluating funds from the Southern California Association of Governments and looking at what we've done in the past as kind of a preliminary report back on what's possible as far as creating a new bus pass program similar to what Long Beach State has. They call it the UPass or the University Pass program.
President Z, if I could respond.
Sure, Trustee Baxter.
I just, Trustee Intek, so Mike Munoz knows, Vice President Greg Peterson has been working on this for several years. And I know Trustee Z and I are totally in favor of this because it would certainly help our students. But also the Equity Committee is working on it. So a lot of work has been to discuss this. And I don't think and if you could pull this off, I'll be nice to you for a whole month. I'm thrilled to have your support on this because I think it's a really essential thing. But the faculty and the administration has been working on it, and I think it's fantastic.
Thank you, Trustee Baxter. Okay, you guys, I think we have beat this item to death. Let's take it easy a little bit on the staff with all the requests. I'm going to move on to item 10.1 for AFT. By the way, thank you those are great points. I think it's very warranted. 10.1, AFT Bargaining President, Susan Trask. Welcome. This will be your first report. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Good evening, Board President Sunny Zia and members of the board, Superintendent Dr. Amali, and Vice President of Campus Community. I'm honored to be here this evening to serve as the AFT Vice President. It's been wonderful listening to this evening and all the great and wonderful things that are happening here. Long Beach City College changed my life 20 years ago, and here I am today. I'm speechless right now, and I'm very proud of all of you. You're great role models. And congratulations, Uduak, on your election, and Sunny and Jenny on your re-election. I'm looking forward to working closely with everybody. I think it's like a new era here, and I think we're all going to just work really great together. I lost 4 members of my board to the SERP, so I'm working really hard on creating a new team as well. And so I don't really have a report. This is my first time, so bear with me. But I'm just really pleased to be here and pleased to work with all of you. And I hope I've got that across. Do I need to address what Uduak's asked about the AFT? Janice? Effects?
We will have Vice President Duran talk to you and the other bargaining units, and we'll put together a collective piece. Thank you so much.
Okay, is there anything else I need to address this evening? Besides, congratulations, everybody, and I just am pleased with what's happened this evening. It's just really wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. CHI Bargaining President, I don't see the representative here tonight, and LBCCFA Bargaining President was here earlier, and I think she spoke. So now we'll move on to 11.1, public comments on non-agenda items. A total of 3 minutes will be allotted to each speaker, with a maximum of 20 minutes to each subject unless extended by the board president. I don't see any comments. Okay, is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak? Okay. In case that you guys didn't, it was so overwhelming with all the people who may have not been able to put in a card in. 12.1, a special meeting will be scheduled for August 2nd, 2018 at the Liberal Arts Campus, Building T, room 1100, and we're going to have the open session at 4 p.m. This is, and closed session at 5 p.m. And I'd like to adjourn the meeting and thank you all for your attendance, participation, and patience with my first board meeting as your chair. Thank you.
Thank you. You did a good job.